everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Rim. We have a very special guest here with us today. This is Mr. Pettus Read. He is the county commissioner here in Rutherford County. Mr. Read, you graduated from here in Rockville in 1966.
That's correct.
First of all, being here tonight, seeing this game, 50th anniversary of an old rivalry, how special is this for you?
This is very special. I mean, I grew up here in this area. I currently am a county commissioner, and just with redistricting, Rockville-Iggleville is my district right now. So it's very special to that point. My uncle served as principal here for over 30 years. My mother was cafeteria manager for over 30 years, and my father drove a school bus for 46 years within this area here serving Rockville. After Rockville went through the consolidation, he drove the school bus from here to Riverdale. He also drove the school bus to a lot of the basketball games, so I sort of stole the way from very small age all the way up to the other times too. But I can see the Rockets playing all over this county. I've often told people that said every Tuesday and Friday night there were either tail lights going one way or headlights going the other from someplace in Rutherford County because there was a basketball game going on. But I grew up in the old gymnasium here in Rockville. Saw a lot of games, a lot of outstanding basketball players. Rockville had its share as well as Iggleville did. Yes, that was a rivalry. It was a lot of fun. The old gym at Iggleville, I can remember it so well because at one end of that gym was a concession stand, and I've seen so many players go for a layup and end up in the popcorn stand. But it was a fun time. It was a great time. We were very close with each other. Rockville was, Iggleville was. But when those two teams come out on the court, they meant business.
Tell me about, too, just all of the individual communities within the county at the time. You know, we just got done talking to Goose, like you just said, too, and, you know, something that he had mentioned was just how involved all of the communities got with not only basketball, but all the sports in general. What was that like to be around that and to see that?
It was something very, very special and very, very unique. There was always, people would say that, you know, the last one to leave, turn out the lights. Because wherever a team left from to go to another school, they all went. They all followed their teams. Across this county here, you had Las Casas, you had Kittrell, you had Christiana, you had Walter Hill. Then you had Rockville, you had Iggleville. I'm sure there's someone I'm leaving out. But they all were communities that lived by those schools. They supported those schools. It was a time when everything wasn't provided by the counties. Those communities provided a lot of it. You take the gymnasium that was at Rockville, it was built by the people of Rockville. The poles that were in that gymnasium to hold up the ceilings and where you had to look around those poles to watch the basketball game come off my grandfather's farm. The lumber come off all the farms around here. An interesting thing about the floor at Rockville, I can remember I played in the elementary grades, that floor had dead spots in it. And we, as the players, knew where the dead spots were. The other teams didn't. And as they'd bring the ball down, we'd notice where that ball would stop. We knew where to steal the ball.
Yeah.
But yet, that was just the unique things about these teams playing each other. I can always remember the time that whenever Kittrell would come to Rockville, the years of Jimmy Montgomery, that gym was packed just to see those. And it was a big effort by Rockville to beat Kittrell. And after that game, there was also a big effort outside to see, arguments concerning that last game. But it was a lot of fun. It was a special time. It was a time when the communities all come together. It's a time when they took care of each other. I think that was something that may have been lost when we consolidated and went that direction. We're seeing now a little effort within the county. I know I'm in the process right now trying to get some what we call public safety buildings built. There's going to build one here in Rockville, but there's also going to be one in Christiana. There's going to be one in Walter Hill. There's going to be one in Kittrell. There's going to be one in Las Casas, and there's going to be one in Amaville. And one thing we've said about this is this may be something that brings the community back again in those areas. So that's something special to Rutherford County, that we develop those communities where people remember what home's all about.
You mentioned guys like Jimmy Montgomery. Tell me about some of the other players back then that stood out to you that were just really guys that were electric on the floor that, you remember to this day.
I remember here at Rockvale some of those. You had Jim Cook. Jim Cook was a guard that Jim could start from out about the center line, and he could start jumping from out there and do a layup almost by the time he got to that goal. He was amazing to watch. We had others like Jimmy Woodson, who was our center. Jimmy was an outstanding basketball player. You mentioned Goose. Goose was a really good player. We had Edward Morgan that could go from the outside and shoot. We had those individuals that, you always worried about the team when after graduation, but there always seemed to be one more that was coming on. The girls' teams were the same way. We had a forward, Linda Burns. She had a hook shot that nobody could stop, and they went all the way to the state tournament. And that was the thing writers wrote about, was the hook shot of Linda Burns. And they called that team that year that they went to the state tournament the Cinderella team from Rockvale.
What about nowadays too, just as, it's growing so quickly here. Quicker than just about anywhere else in the country, to see Rockville over these past 3 years get to where it is, thriving. The football team made it to the playoffs this year. Both basketball teams are competing at a high level. Just how special is it as an alum to look back and see what's going on now, with the school nowadays?
Well, you're looking now compared to a school that was grades 1 through 12 with 350 students in that school, to now we have a high school here with close to 2,500 in it. It's totally two different situations. But yet we have a principal here at Rockvale that sort of reminds me of my uncle in a way. He is about the community. He's about what goes on here. In fact, he has brought a lot of the memorabilia from that old school. It's here in this school that he reminds the current student body about what went on in that old school, to tell them where they come from and that, this is what we are about. And I think within this community, they're proud of the school and what we have here. We're a unique school. The community was involved in the school of saying what they wanted to be taught here. We not only have what you normally have within the high schools within this county, we have some other things. We are teaching individuals how to be paramedics. We have a class here where there is a full-size ambulance located in the classroom, where students learned everything you'd have to do to be a paramedic, where when they come out of here, they can almost go to certification.
Wow.
We have nursing being taught here. We have heating air taught here. We have electrical. We have mechatronics. We have culinary. We have, a lot of places have computer programming, but we have here how to repair computers. And one thing that the community said here, we'd like to have a school that when you leave here, you leave not only with an education, but you could also leave here with a vocation if you wanted to. So that's what's going on here. It's something a little bit different. And I think those that have moved here are seeing this. They know what we're all about. And I think everybody is signing into it.
Mr. Read, is there anything else you'd like to add or anything that I might have missed?
The only thing I'd like to say is hail the veil.
Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, County Commissioner Pettus Read on Around the Rim.